10 years is a long time for a man to sit in a cage. Even longer if he wastes it. Where a man spends his time isn't nearly as important as what he does with it. Time is the one thing in the world we can never get back. You're wrong, man. You just gotta be open to it.
Don't put your religion crap on me. We saw the light in you. You can't even see it yourself.
Some folks go through life just murdering time. Others say their time is running out.
You've created a prison for me too.
You're dying right here in front of
I'm
us.
not gonna put his future at risk because of my own mistakes. Time is just time. It can be a man's best friend or his worst enemy.
Wake up! Stop it!
Fuck.
All this writing? What if it's your gift?
Promise me you'll be a good man. You're a Good Man Daddy is, it's about a guy named John Percy who goes to jail for 10 years after he was involved in the sports world and he was supplying growth hormone to baseball players. Well, that kind of thing happens and it's been happening for a while. John goes to jail and he is in jail, and the whole thing that keeps him going in jail is that desire to become the dad, the father, the lover, the provider, everything that has let his family down, all those areas. He's been wanting to, get out of jail and become all those things. So when he comes out, he finds out that he has kidney disease. He's got this thing, focal glomerulosclerosis. The movie is loosely based around my own life story. Then he finds out that he's only got a few months to live. So things kind of go sideways, but his desire is the same. He still wants to do those things, but now he's in the race against time, against the ravages of his affliction. His oldest son, Danny, is a phenomenally gifted basketball player, and he's got a full ride scholarship to Syracuse University. He's basically going to be one of those one and done. He's going to go right into the NBA after his first year. How do we possibly put our family back together in a way that there's been so much damage and so much hurt between the dad and the daughter and the mom and the husband and the wife? How do you get a family? I mean, every single family in the world has hurt. Forgiveness is an awesome thing. It's great to forgive somebody, but it also unlocks in us getting out of that prison that we've created for ourselves. So he's got to figure out, get this all together before I die. How do I do that? To get a clear picture, I think we have to start at the very beginning of my life. I was the fourth child with a condition. I was an RH baby, so that's a condition where the blood of the mother doesn't exactly match the child's and they conflict with each other. So by the time I came out, it was pretty apparent that I wasn't doing very well. And I needed a blood transfusion. And at that time, they didn't have the blood banks and everything that they have nowadays. They just would pick up the phone the old-fashioned way and get in touch with people and ask them to come in. The person that said yes and came in and gave his blood was a African-American man from the steel mills of Ohio. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So with that beginning, let's skip forward to 2007. I had a biopsy and they found out that I had a condition called focal glomerulosclerosis. It's a blood disorder. The red blood cells are made wrong, so when they pass through the kidneys are constantly stressed until the kidneys finally just can't take anymore. Basketball player Alonzo Mourning had it, and it's a disease with no cure, no man-known cure, that is. But what it did for me was it really gave me an opportunity to be in touch with the fact that I'm not going to be here forever. I really figured if I'm going to reinvent myself, what is it that I really want to do with my life, that I'm really passionate about, that I really feel like I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And the answer that came up for me, as it was I want to be a screenwriter. I finally had an opportunity in a strange circumstance to have 30 days to write a screenplay. So I wrote my screenplay longhand, the old-fashioned way, with pen and lined paper, 220 pages, and it just started pouring out of me. I had the tremendous opportunity to sit in Will Smith's home and pitch him with his oldest son, Trey, about my movie idea. And it was a magnificent moment. And it was a moment that any writer with 30 years of experience would just be like salivating for. But here I was in his home with an opportunity to talk to him and his oldest son about this vision that I had for You're a Good Man Daddy. He said to me, you know what, Arnie, I could actually take what you told me and hire a couple writers and make a phenomenal movie. But The problem is one day you'll be sitting in a theater and you'll be looking and you'll say, that's not the movie I had in mind. So he said, what I encourage you to do is I would encourage you to take control of the process as long as you possibly can, because it'll be better for you all the way around. And one day you'll be sitting in a theater going, that's the movie I wanted to make. We're making this promotional video to spread the word about You're a Good Man, Daddy, which is what every dad wants to be in the world, is a good man. Whether you're a dad or not, we all want to be, I think, we want to be good men in the world. I have created a nonprofit called Get on the A-List Worldwide, and it is a nonprofit that is entirely devoted to helping kids in Africa that are orphaned with HIV and AIDS, and teaming up with corporate America, people from all walks of life, celebrities, to get resources, medication, food to those kids that are orphans over in Africa that are just waiting for a miracle. They're just waiting for a miracle, because you know what? All they have is hope. 2 years ago today, a friend of mine invited me to go to a spiritual revival at the West Angeles Church on Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles. During that worship, there was a moment where they called people down. I went down, and they laid hands on me and prayed for my healing. And since that day, I have not been on any medication at all. I was on 3 different medications for my kidney disorder, and I have been completely healed and restored, and that is completely a miracle. So my vision is to have a portion of the proceeds of this film go directly into the nonprofit, which will then be used to send resources for, like I said, food, medication, and whatever they need over there for the kids. About a year ago, I made a commitment. I promised, actually, a 22-year-old man in Zambia who's a double orphan. His parents both died on the same day in separate incidences, and he's dedicated his life to helping to take care of these children who he has shared that life experience. So I promised him I would do everything I possibly could to help with his plight. And like any good man, I think it's really, really important to keep our word. So that's what I'm committed to in this project, is keeping my promise to him, helping him with his dedication and service of orphan children. He's in Zambia, but entirely in Africa as well. So you've seen the trailer, which we're really excited about, and you know about the nonprofit, and you know how my story came up to the point of being a writer. When I'm asking you to help me raise money for this movie, what I'm really asking you is to help me help kids in Africa that are just waiting for a miracle. I believe if we keep on it, put one foot in front of the other with the right intention, that miracles will happen. I've seen so many of them in my own life, and I know I'm going to see one with this as well. So whatever you can do, however this might move you, and if you can't help us financially, help us with your intentions and your prayers, because this is a wonderful thing. Help me to use this tool of media through film to create a powerful, positive change in the world that is so necessary that I can't do it alone. I'm just asking for your help. With that in mind, I hope to see you on the red carpet, and God bless you.